Guys, this is still in the Project 30 list. This is about developing the traits that you are going to need to conquer the world. And today we're going to be talking about obsession. Obsession is one of the best traits that you can develop as a man. Because in this walk, in this journey, you'll soon realize that to get anywhere in life and to achieve anything, you need a level of discipline. You need a degree of basically putting your nose to the grindstone and working. Discipline is good, but obsession is better. Obsession is better because it moves mountains. It creates insanity. And insanity is actually very necessary for you to achieve your goals. So is arrogance and all of these negative traits that people see as a bad thing. Because obsession really is just more of an adjective to describe a certain action. So you can be obsessed with anything, like, for instance, addiction. You could be addicted to nicotine, you could be addicted to alcohol, all these things. But those are just bad things, those are vices. But what about being obsessed with good things? Being obsessed with doing the right things that are needed and necessary. Because more often than not, repetitive action is what's going to get you the most results in life. And obsession is something that I developed in fitness, and I realized that that could carry me in other places. Once I became obsessed by doing one thing, I realized that obsession is nothing more than just an order of levers that I can pull towards a certain action and then make myself want to do it more and more. So for an example, I became obsessed with running. And I actually reached world record levels. I didn't go out and participate in races. I literally just did it for the love of the game because I became so obsessed with getting faster every time I ran to the point where I could run a sub 50 400 meter. And I did it all without having to track in high school, without doing any of that. I did it just simply off of pure raw energy for the love of the game. And that is what obsession is. Just simply enjoying the process as it is, or even not enjoying it. Because the thing is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your mind says. It more so matters what you're feeling and what your heart says. For instance, some people know that they should quit smoking, but they just can't help it. There's a little thingy in their head telling them just one more hit. And when I was running, back when I was more obsessed with running, then there was something in my head, a voice saying, just one more run, just one more run, just one more run, one more rep. And that obsession that I had is really the best thing that I can tell people. Because people ask me often, how'd you get so fast, or how'd you run, or how'd you lose all that weight? It was obsession. I was obsessed with winning. I was obsessed with getting better, and I knew I could be the best. And so I literally just did it, like, over and over and over again, because I just could not help it. It got to the point where I couldn't go a day I couldn't go to bed at night thinking that I didn't try my hardest. And so I'd get up and go out and run. I would run sometimes at midnight, because I just completely went over before. Now it's the point where I'm almost stuck. Where, do you see how that is the answer? To where back when I first started working out and I was a bit chubby, not in shape, then it was a hassle to work out. But now it's to the point where I can't not work out because there's something in my head telling me that I have to. And that is the obsessive part. But in doing that, that makes me better than 99% of people who try and work out and fail just because they don't feel like it, or because it's too hard, or they quit. Obsession is the answer. You need to learn to be obsessed. Now, there's an actual formula I can teach you on how to be obsessed with something that is going to get you the maximum results. The first thing you need to do is know what it is that you need to do and make it as frictionless as possible. So remove any friction from doing it. So when I would run, then I would get up and I know where my shoes are, I know where my jacket is, and I would tell myself, all you have to do is run in that direction. And so I'll go back in the woods on the street I live in and just run. And just run. There was no friction. There was no problem. And this is helped by the fact that I wasn't working a job or going to school at the time. But it's an obsession nonetheless. The second thing is actually, the first thing was remove all and any friction. The second thing is do it every single day. So you want to make sure that it is an action that you can repeat every single day. And do over and over again. Because doing that over and over again is what's going to help make it become more normal. You often realize, like, as an example, I have braces in right now. And the braces at the beginning were a bit odd to get around and a bit uncomfortable to wear. But it's going on 2 years now that I've had them. And the longer that I've spent with them, the more normal it became. To the point where now it's just kind of like, oh, that's just how I do things. And I had to change my style of brushing my teeth. So if you do something every day and you repeat it over and over and over again, then it's just going to become ingrained in your brain as normal. You need to make this normal. And number 3 is going to be make the reward satisfying. You need to make the action of doing the process satisfying. The process is important. Of course, you should love the process, but when it comes to obsession, you need to love the after effects. So, like, think of any addicts, any drug addicts. And again, this is serious stuff. Because realize the obsession is not the problem, it is what you're obsessed about. The after effect has to be so good. The reason that you keep eating junk food is because you know how good it tastes afterwards. The reason that people keep going back to nicotine or alcohol is because they know how good it will make them feel afterwards. So you need to make the after effect of whatever it is that you need to become obsessed with feel really good. And it has to be instantaneous in your body right after you do the activity. So think of something that you can do to make the after effect of the activity last much longer and also feel really good. And you have to remember it in your head. It has to be something memorable. Like every time you go for a run, you just feel accomplished. You feel like a warrior. That feeling is what gets people to move mountains and really achieve their dreams. So, obsession is the key. Become obsessed with achieving your goals, getting healthier, getting in shape, becoming a better person. And you are going to wash the competition because they're obsessed with video games and junk food and all those things like that. Meanwhile, you're obsessed with getting better every day.